What is up, guys? It is Fruity here, and we are back in the world of building Shizzle. Today we are building my blue Snowball microphone. I kind of forgot to do a more traditional intro to this video where I tell you what I'm using and stuff, but there wasn't that much. It was just kind of black wool, a block of coal, black stained glass pane, sorry, clay, and I think that was about it. I may have also used some... oh yeah, I also used some glass block, and you'll see what that's for later. I thought I'd kind of talk over the video a bit more because I was kind of just showing you the footage and then just putting some music behind it, and I thought I'd put a bit more in depth into it so you can kind of understand what my thinking was when building this. Obviously when I was building this, it's in front of me, so I've got some really good reference to how to build it. But if you've seen a blue Snowball before, it's very spherical. Yeah, spherical, that's the word. There's lots of curves on it. There isn't really a straight line on it at all, unless you count the stand that it's on. And so yeah, here's I'm doing the base, trying to make it as round as possible. Those three little kind of cube circle things, those are the feet that it stands on. And just filling out the base a bit more here. I was really trying to get the circular, just trying to make it as circular as possible and get it nice to start out with, so it's a nice quick, well, nice place to start, as it were. I cleared this nice area right on top of the mountain range that we've got all our models built in. So this is the outer shaft of the blue Snowball. So there's two parts to it. There's the outer shaft here and the inner shaft, which you can use to like extend it up towards you a bit more. And it's also what my pod filter is clipped on. So not pod, pop filter is clipped onto. So here we go. This is where the swivel mount is at the top of the shaft, which the actual blue Snowball sits on top. It's kind of a little round thing inside, like a little small sphere inside a big sphere. So we're just trying to figure out how to make it as circular as possible and how to get the actual shape of the blue Snowball, because the bit on top of the blue Snowball, the actual microphone itself, is quite large compared to the stand. So I started getting the circular bit here, just checking it out, and I really started building up. And at this point, when I started to put it on and I realised nothing was gone, no more blocks would go on, I realised I'd hit the sky barrier, and I was just like facepalm at this point, because I'm playing in an amplified biome, as you will know if you've seen any of my other episodes, and because of this, and I decided to build it on top of the mountain, I managed to hit the sky barrier, and yeah, just felt a bit stupid really. Luckily I could make the shaft a bit smaller, because obviously it's adjustable anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. So I just kind of made that a bit smaller and then started building up the top of the Snowball again. So just building up the curves of it. So I started with a quarter and then trying to do a half, and getting up to the top, trying to make sure that the size is right and it looks right, and making sure it's still really curved, and try not to make it square or a cube. So after much trial and error, I managed to get the first circle side done. Moving on to the second part here. I was just trying to get the actual, like, the framework for it down, for something to build around, because otherwise I was just going to struggle to build a massive sphere. Here I'm just starting to fill it in, because it's really hard to fill in something at that kind of angle while still trying to make it circular and not like a pyramid, though it did kind of end up as a pyramid anyway. This took a lot of trial and error, really. Just trying to get that shape right. This is when it started turning into a pyramid, because I was just following the curves of the circles I'd already done, but instead of following them round, I just made them straight, and therefore wasn't really working. So then I put a circular band around the center of the sphere, just to help me to visualize where the curve was a bit more. As you can see here, I started to fill it in, and it's got a really flat shape on it. There's no kind of curve to the outside. This is one of the main problems I was having with this. It became more of two pyramids, like it is two slightly curved pyramids on top of each other instead of being curved. This would have been a lot easier if I'd done a much larger circle. You definitely get a lot more detail. And you can definitely start to build up that curved shape. So here I'm just kind of digging away at what I'd put down to try and get more of that curved shape out. It's just a lot of trial and error, really, until it looks nice. You're mostly trying to match it up to the quarter sections you've created with the framework, because the quarter section I used was 3 blocks, then 2 blocks, then 1 block, then 1 block, then 2 blocks like down, and then another 3 blocks down. It's kind of hard to explain, but as you can see it in the video. So here it really started to become more of a sphere shape as I was adding, layering it up on the sides. Though the top did become kind of square. Now I'm starting to build up the front of the microphone where there is a mesh on the front, where this is where your like voice is actually recorded by the microphone. Here I was just building up an inside wall, so you didn't have to look at the whole of the inside of the microphone whilst when I put this mesh in. And then I was just using a glass stained pane, a black stained pane of glass, to trying to get that mesh look. And also this here is the blue logo. Now obviously I can't put something as detailed. If you've seen the blue logo on the front of the blue Snowball, I can't put something as detailed on that on this small scale, so this will have to do. But yeah, that's the rest of the mesh. There's just a little bit of mesh in the bottom. There we are. And yeah, that's the front of the microphone done. Now on the back of the microphone there is a load of mesh as well, because the Blue Snowball does have an omnidirectional recording setting, which is when it takes sound in from all sides. But I only really use it on the, I think it's called cardial directional, something like that, which is just takes it from the front. So this bit here is the cable that comes out of the back of the Blue Snowball that goes into the computer, and it's kind of got this shiny sort of it's woven metal around the actual cable, and then surrounded by like a flexible plastic. So I was using this clay for the woven metal, and then I thought I'd put some glass around it just to show it just kind of adds to the woven effect, but also giving it that plasticky see-through effect that's on the cable. So here I'm just finishing up the build by putting the legs of the Blue Snowball in. Now the Blue Snowball has 3 legs that are equally placed around the shaft of the mic. And doing something like this in Minecraft is quite difficult because of the angles. So I put 2 of the balls on diagonal angles on the square side, and then put 1 on the flat side. So just using more block of coal for that more metallic-y kind of effect, whereas the feet, which are blocks of black wool, are more of a rubbery sort of texture. So I did actually end up moving the feet to get them into place so they would fit better. I just put them down at the beginning so I kind of knew where the middle was, and now I put the middle down, I could kind of move them around it. So there we go, got the 2 diagonal legs done, and then just kind of had to sort out just have to sort out this this straight leg and move the foot over a bit. Some of the angles aren't exactly correct because the legs are straight, but it looks alright. I never actually realised how hard it was to build spherical things in Minecraft until you actually do it and somebody says, how do you draw a circle in Minecraft? And you think, oh, yeah, it is quite difficult. So there we go, guys. That is our Blue Snowball microphone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.